Congress had the power to prevent this from happening, but chose not to. The Senate passed a good bill that would have given our intelligence professionals the tools they need to keep us safe. But leaders in the House of Representatives blocked a House vote on the Senate bill and then left on a 10-day recess. Some congressional leaders claim that this will not affect our security. They are wrong. Because Congress failed to act, it will be harder for our government to keep you safe from terrorist attack. Congress had the power to prevent this from happening, but chose not to. The Senate passed a good bill that would have given our intelligence professionals the tools they need to keep us safe. But leaders in the House of Representatives blocked a House vote on the Senate bill and then left on a 10-day recess. Some congressional leaders claim that this will not affect our security. They are wrong. Because Congress failed to act, it will be harder for our government to keep you safe from terrorist attack.
Florida officials and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration are at odds about where the recent salmonella outbreak may have started. The FDA says it's looking at tomatoes from central and southern Florida, along with parts of Mexico as the source, since those areas were supplying most of the country's tomatoes in April when people started getting sick. The Florida Department of Agriculture says their evidence tells a different story.
Florida tomatoes are not the result of this outbreak of disease, principally because the vast majority of the diseases have occurred in areas where we, far away from here, for example, Texas has a large number of these diseases, New Mexico has an outbreak of these diseases, Illinois, areas where we have not shipped tomatoes or shipped many tomatoes.
Still, Meyer says his agency will do what it can to help the FDA's investigation.
Lower levels of sodium in food, but also because sodium plays an important role in food processing and food stability. I can tell you that it's been an area of huge interest and concern.
They're being dubbed Frankenfish, genetically modified salmon that could land on dinner tables nationwide in as soon as 2 years. That is, if the FDA says yes.
The FDA says there's no evidence antibacterial chemicals in some soaps and washes help fight germs, and they could pose health risks. The agency is reviewing the safety of ingredients like triclosan, found in about 75% of liquid antibacterial cleansers sold in the U.S. Recent studies suggest it can interfere with hormone levels and spur drug-resistant bacteria.
I think companies are going to be hard-pressed to show that this is safe and effective, and right now, all indication is that they're not safe and not effective.
After years of detailed study and analysis, the Food and Drug Administration has concluded that meat and milk from clones of cattle, swine, and goats, and the offspring of clones from any species traditionally consumed as food, are as safe to eat as food from conventionally bred animals.
We understand that members of the public may have strong opinions about animal cloning for agricultural purposes. FDA's mandate is to make science-based decisions based on data, and the American public counts on that. We take our commitment to ensure food safety very seriously.
The Food and Drug Administration has expanded the list of foods it's looking into as possible culprits in a salmonella outbreak that has sickened nearly 950 Americans. At least 130 people have been hospitalized. Tomatoes have been the prime suspect in the outbreak that began over a month ago. FDA investigators aren't saying what other vegetables they're looking at, but officials do say they're looking at items that are regularly served with fresh tomatoes. That includes serrano peppers, jalapenos, and salsa. Fresh guacamole is also on the list. Some patients have told the Centers for Disease Control that they ate raw tomatoes in fresh salsa and guacamole. The FDA says there are several possible reasons for the outbreak.